Why is the rum always gone?
Greetings, and welcome back to the high seas and the somewhat drunken antics of the Air and Navy Marine Corps. Now, recently I've not been having much luck with the battleships. I had wondered if they'd been stealth nerfed after the wipe and the move to open beta. But I'm coming round to the opinion that I just lost my touch. There's a lot of discussion on the forums about balance, whether this ship or that ship is OP. I'm coming to the conclusion that this game is actually incredibly well balanced. There are certainly ships that are better than others. Some of them are donkeys at best. The Fury certainly seems to be unpopular, and some of them are definitely more popular than others. But given the sheer volume of different things involved, the different number of aspects to balance, the hit points, the reload times, the maneuverability of the ships, the skill of the different players, I do think this game is very well balanced. Battleships, I've been suffering a little with them. With their very slow reload speed and usually not too high number of guns, they suffer quite badly from RNG. Sometimes it'll bless you, sometimes you're just not going to be able to hit anything. And especially with ships like the Kongo. My Kongo is now fully upgraded. I can engage these guys at 21.2 kilometers before I launch my scout plane, which I rarely do because the perspective it offers just it messes with me. But at that range, yeah, RNG can often throw you well out. So I've started to remember how I used to play my battleships, which is getting a little closer in. There seems to be a sweet spot between half and 2/3 of your range, wherein the guns do appear to be more accurate. Also, it seems if you get too close, the guns again, they don't seem to like being too close to things. However, this is a domination game. The Powder Monkey is with me in his Omaha, and we appear to have found quite a lot of the enemy team. So we're already thinking, yeah, maybe not. Our forces over on the western flank have quite happily taken A and are starting to sweep around, so a little bit of an issue with the zoom function there. It seemed to want to trap me on that island. I'm basically intending to just hold these guys and cause as much damage as I can before falling back a bit. Seeing the Powder Monkey coming back this way, starting to take a bit more fire, yeah, now's the time to be turning away. It's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 6 enemy ships over here. And at the moment it's relatively even. They've got 2 of the bases and killed 1 of our ships. But we've got guys moving on B, so we'll see what happens. Those are going to miss. He was turning away as I fired, and I probably should have adjusted for that, but hey. Powder Monkey's giving me what covering fire he can. A few glancing HE hits from Phoenix there. turn back in to get my other guns round. Now, that Murmansk appears to have got himself a little wedged. So, I'll show him the error of that.
Our team has taken the lead.
Now, one of the things I like about the Kongo is its relative speed and manoeuvrability. It's a lot like a heavy cruiser. And there's the first kill. Now the trade-off with the battleships for the lack of accuracy is that if you do hit, you can do a huge amount of damage. If you get a Citadel hit with an Omaha, you're going to be doing a couple of thousand points of damage. Get a Citadel hit with this thing, you can do 10 or 11,000 damage. As this Kuma is about to find out. There goes half his health. One shell, half his health. Now admittedly only one shell out of 4 hit, but even if all 4 shells had hit and Citadel hit, if I was sailing a Phoenix, I still wouldn't have done the same amount of damage. Now I do like to aim for battleships when I'm sailing a battleship. Partly because they're a bigger target, partly because they've got a lot of health and it helps to reduce it quite quickly. But any guns you can take off the enemy team are guns that aren't shooting at you and your friends. Now I'm aware that I'm approaching an island here, and Powder Monkey and the Phoenix with him are starting to turn back again. Put a couple of shots out at that Phoenix. Now way in the back there, down at J5, you can see the enemy Kongo. There. Now, he's obviously making use of his extremely long range guns. But he doesn't appear to have done anything with them yet. He hasn't been hurt, but I've gone in close, I haven't been hurt that much, and I've got 2 kills to my name. You see quite a lot of that with Japanese battleships. People hanging back and firing from range because they can. I'm not convinced it's the way forwards. The accuracy, the slow reload, unless you're very lucky, you're just not going to pull your weight in the battle. And here we see the flip side of the RNG. Those shells are not going where I aimed them. But that's okay. He didn't sail where I aimed. So like I said, sometimes RNG will bless you, sometimes it'll curse you. The closer you are, the less the deviation will matter. Admittedly, the closer you are, the more HE fire you're going to take from cruisers like that Phoenix. But I've come across the middle because I've seen a couple of their battleships and cruisers coming this way, and our flank's a little bit light. Powder Monkey and the Phoenix and another battleship are still over there covering the carriers. Now I'm turning away from B a little bit because I know there's an Isakaze in there, and I don't really feel like getting torpedoed today. And I am just inside his torpedo range.
The enemy team is taking
But I can
the
see
lead.
the island on the mini-map and which way the Tenrei is turning. So I'm turning and slowing down to give him space to get past and give myself an angle on these guys. Now I'm sure he's going to get past. Take the lead on Phoenix, who unfortunately gets tapped by that South Carolina just as I fire, so all of those shells are going to miss. But now I've seen that Furutaka, who's heading up towards A, and there's only an Isakaze trying to stop him. So I'll go and see if I can't secure that flank. There we go, another big hit.
Enemy heavily damaged.
Close call with the Isakaze, but all of a sudden that Fear attacker is not feeling quite so clever. Isakaze puts some torpedoes past me, and it's about this point I notice the torpedo bombers coming in. And start my turn again. If I'd held the turn all the way round, I might have been alright here. There's some torpedoes from Fear attacker going past on the right hand side. Now I'm pretty sure all the torpedoes are clear. Hit the repair to get rid of the flooding and the fire. Tell the lads to start gaffering stuff up again, so get some health back. Now I'd like to shoot the South Carolina, but there's an island on my right so I can't turn too much. So I switch to the Fear attacker so I can use my 2 back turrets on it. I'm a little disappointed that those shells didn't kill him. They look like good hits, so I decide to finish him off, given that my secondaries are already opening up in the South Carolina. I'm aware the South Carolina can do me some serious damage, but I'm pretty well angled against him, and I want that cruiser down before I go toe to toe with the Carolina. Fortunately, the Tenryu sorts that out for me. So, straighten up a bit. Let's start having words with each other at close range. Both our secondaries are going off. Mine's setting on fire just before down he goes. Now we're looking pretty good from here. They do have 2 out of the 3 bases, but we've got a significant points and ships advantage. Now I did notice the aircraft carrier popping up to my south, but I wasn't sure I could make the turn back in time. I didn't really want to present my side to this guy. Took a hefty chunk off of him, handily bringing him within range of the torpedo bombers that have just dropped off his port side. And there he goes. Now I'm aware that I've got torpedo bombers coming in on me, so I start manoeuvring to try and do something about that. As the AA's already picked this guy, tell them to focus, and then start looking for the drop from the other one. Now I start slowing down, and then I start speeding up again, because I'm worried that I won't turn enough without speed to keep the turn up. And that's about as close as it can be. Pretty sure I'm going to take this one, but kick the repair off, and it doesn't matter anyway, because we've just won. So yeah, all in all, quite a nice game. Bunch of hits, bunch of damage, and far and away top of the team. The enemy Kongo stayed clear, survived, came mid-table. So yes, increasingly I'm thinking, with battleships, you just gotta get in there. You will take damage, but you'll do more.